I was very, very lucky. I wasn't planning on being a cartoonist for the New Yorker. My parents subscribed. Of course, I knew what it was and, you know, how wonderful the cartoons in the New Yorker were. And there were many people whose work I loved. I loved Ed Koren, I loved George Booth, of course Charles Addams, Jack Ziegler. But I didn't feel like I fit in there at all because I wasn't doing those kind of cartoons. I thought I would be a cartoonist for the Village Voice, maybe, if I were lucky. And I was selling to the Village Voice. You know, they published Jules Feiffer and Stan Mack and Mark Allen Stamety, and of course the National Lampoon. They, you know, M.K. Brown and Shari Flanagan and the great Ed Subitsky and all of these people whose work I loved. And the thing that all of these people had in common that I felt more, you know, kindred spirits was that their work was very individual, that it was sometimes multi-panel, and it wasn't a gag line cartoon. So I did not think the New Yorker was going to go for my work at all, but I decided to try, and that was in April of '78. I dropped my stuff off and I went back. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't even know who was the editor. I didn't know who Lee Lorenz was. I didn't know who William Shawn was. I was 23. I knew like nothing. And I dropped it off, and the next week I went back, and there was a note from Lee Lorenz to come back and see him. And I was very surprised, and I went back, and they told me that they were going to buy he told me they were going to buy a cartoon. And he told me that Shawn really liked my work. I didn't know who Shawn was. I knew it wasn't Sean Connery, you know. I had dropped off about 60 cartoons. I really did not know what I was doing. And he told me to start coming back every week. And I think that was very galling to a lot of people. And I'm sure that some of them just thought like, you know, well, what I told you, what one of them said to Lee, you know, but, you know, so I did start coming back every week.